So I'm attempting to prevent that. Our last resort is homeschooling. Hi guys, welcome back to today's video. If you're new here, my name's Alora. I make motherhood and lifestyle content. Don't forget to subscribe down below. If you have followed me for any length of time, then you know that my husband is a teacher. With it being back to school and my husband's first week back, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to do kind of like a back to school reset. Being in the back to school mode makes me want to just reset the house a little bit, get things in order for my toddler, some of the educational things I want to do with him this school year. So that is what this video will be about today. I haven't really talked much about what my plan is regarding my kids' education. The plan right now is I will homeschool for preschool, and then we're going to do public school for kindergarten on. And if we find that public school just doesn't work for our kids, then we are going to try out a Christian school. Our last resort is homeschooling. I know there's a lot of controversy right now regarding public schools, but I will say the schools in our area are very, very good. I mean, I know we're still kind of a few years out, but like this is our kids' future and like future education. And so we've already discussed kind of what we wanted to do, and I don't mind sharing. I'm not opposed to public school or homeschool. You got to do what works best for your family and your kids, and that's kind of where I stand on that. As of right now, regarding my kids, we've made the decision to send them to public school. But for the younger years, we are going to homeschool them for preschool. So I'm excited to kind of get a curriculum together for Caspian. I also wanted to share that this is my husband's 5th year of teaching, and we were talking about it the other night, and I was like, you realize like every year of teaching, something significant happened. So his first year of teaching, literally the weekend before he started school, we got married. And that was his first year. Like that was a big year for him. He got married, he got his first classroom, like he got his first real teaching job. It was a really big year of change for him. And then the second year, the weekend before school started, I found out I was pregnant, which that is life altering. Let me tell you, find out you're pregnant. The third year, he changed schools. So that was a big significance. He went from private to public. Year 4, like 2 or 3 weeks before school started, we found out we were pregnant with Ellery. Here we are into year 5. Nothing necessarily significant happened this year. Since our marriage, back to school season has just been huge for us. And just even outside of his career, but like in our own personal lives as well. Okay, we're gonna get in today's video. We'll see what all we get done today. If I don't get it all accomplished today, that's okay. We still have tomorrow. Also, I'm wearing a sweatshirt today because it is so cold in this house, which is like crazy that I am like literally wearing a sweatshirt in August. But you know, back to school is like those cold mornings and then like hot afternoons. It's that weird, like cannot make up its mind. You're wearing a jacket in the morning with the heat on, and then by the time you get to the afternoon, you're blasting your AC. So we're getting to that kind of weather. I'm currently diffusing oils that are meant to purify the air. I feel like every single year when my husband goes back to school, he gets sick, and then like the rest of us get sick. So I'm attempting to prevent that. We'll see if it works. I will share with you real quick what all I grabbed from the basement. It's all focused on numbers, shapes, colors, letters, those things. I have some Melissa and Doug magnets. There are numbers, and then on the other side is letters. So I'm going to get out numbers 1 through 5 and then just get out 3 letters, probably just A, B, and C. I also brought up this huge floor puzzle. It is the alphabet. I think I'm going to introduce this much later into the school year, like when he's closer to age 3. I do think this is a little too difficult for him right now, but I thought I'd just bring it up. I also brought up some wooden puzzles. I have the numbers one. Yeah, puzzle. You want it?
I do.
You're welcome. So I have the numbers one that he just took, and then this is shapes. There's some shapes on here I just don't think he's quite ready for like a semicircle. I don't think I'll introduce that one quite yet. Like, we'll just do circle. But I also thought this would be great for like asking him, what color is this? And then I also grabbed some books. I think all these books I thrifted, but there are these Eric Carle books for shapes and colors. And then I grabbed a few books about numbers. So just these, and then these are more fun illustrated ones that they make a story out of numbers. And so I thought that would be interesting for him. Pink, yes. And then I also have this I Am a Rainbow. It's a book about colors. And it's also a book, not just colors, but also emotions. And we've read this so many times. He knows a lot of the colors in this book. So that is all that I grabbed. I'm going to put these away. I still plan on keeping his animal magnets up because he still really enjoys playing with these. He loves going over and saying bunny or dog or kitty. So we're keeping that up. And I'm just going to have this side of the fridge be my educational side, because eventually as he learns and we can move on to more numbers and more letters, I'm going to need more space. So that's kind of my thinking right there. You like the raisins?
It's cake.
Oh, thank you.
Cake. Cake?
It's not cake. Does it taste like cake?
Cake?
It's a raisin.
It's a cake.
Okay, it's cake. Something I have been absolutely neglecting for the longest time is clean out my fridge. So we're going to do that because that is on my back to school reset list.
What's a cake?
With it being back to school comes a lot of changes sometimes, and so Ellery is now out of the bassinet as of last night. She slept in her own room, in her own crib, and she did beautifully. I'm very glad I made the switch, especially with my husband having to get up at like 6 a.m. now. I just didn't want her sleep to be disturbed, and so I made the switch last night. She did great. I remember with Caspian, it took me forever to get him out of the bassinet because I was just a very anxious first-time mom. I wanted him by my side. I wanted to be able to see him. I wanted to be able to see him breathe at any point in time throughout the night. And I didn't get him out of the bassinet until he was 6 months old. And when I tell you his sleep regression was bad, it was bad. I mean, we were up probably half the night. I remember being in that moment and like how I felt. Like every single night, I didn't want to go to bed because I just knew it was going to be a terrible night. And I just dreaded the thought of nighttime. And the moment we switched him from his bassinet to his crib, his sleep improved. And I was just like kicking myself because it's like my anxiousness was holding me back from making that switch. And I think that's just what he needed. Like Caspian just needed his own space. This time around, I kind of figured by the time back to school came, I would want her in her own nursery. And so we did that. After the switch last night, I did keep up the bassinet just in case because I wasn't sure how she would do in her own room. And she exceeded my expectations. So I'm going to take this bassinet down, which is just crazy because I have a video of me putting it up. I will say my side of the bed is so much more spacious. my kids are still sleeping, so I'm going to take this opportunity to make September's meal plan. If you do not meal plan yet, maybe a good back to school goal would be to have a meal plan, whether it's weekly or monthly, like whatever works for you. But I can tell you, it has not only saved me money, but so much time knowing what I'm going to make for dinner every night. It just takes off the stress of what's for dinner. Like, I feel like everyone stresses with that question, like, what do you want for dinner? And if I already have it planned and I've already purchased the ingredients for it, like, that's what we're having for dinner. So a great way to organize yourself for back to school is to have a meal plan. And I do it by month. It's just what works for me. I actually have a video kind of going more in depth of how I meal plan and grocery shop. I can link that above. I made that video before I had Ellery. I feel like I do things a little differently now that I have 2 kids. I think in that video I went grocery shopping every 2 weeks. I go every week now. It just is what I find to be a little bit easier, making my trips shorter. And I'm currently wearing these blue light glasses off of Amazon. I got them during Prime days. They were like dirt cheap. I'm on the computer a lot. I do a lot of editing. If you're new here, I have a part-time job with my church. I video edit. That passion of video editing carried into my own personal hobby of doing YouTube. And so I do a lot of editing on a laptop. And therefore, my husband was like, we should get blue light glasses. Fun fact, I actually was prescribed glasses, let's see, back in like 2019, 2020. I went to the eye doctor and he's like, you need glasses. And so I picked out a pair and I absolutely hate how they look on my face. Like I'm not even kidding you. I cannot stand how they look on my face. So I haven't worn them. Like, I literally got them, wore them, and like one time did not like it at all. They didn't have this style when I was looking for it, which is the style I was going for. And so I had to pick the closest thing to them and they just weren't quite right. And I haven't worn them since. And so technically I do have glasses prescribed to me. I just never wear them. And in fact, I never will wear them because Caspian broke them, which when he broke them, there was a part of me that was like, oh good, because now I like actually don't have to wear them. I have a really good excuse to not wear them. So next time I go to the eye doctor, I am going to look for this style. If I find this style, I will actually wear my prescribed glasses. But if I can't, I'm just sorry, I'm not wearing them. I need to stop rambling because I am on a time crunch. My kids could wake up at any moment, and so I need to get this September meal plan ready to go. And of course I'll link it for you guys. Like, I get how hard planning meals is, and like trying to have variety can be really hard. So I'll link it for you guys. I won't leave you hanging, I promise. It's just chicken and ground beef meals. It's just ways I save money. I basically cut out all other meats because all other meats are a lot more expensive than just your basic chicken breast ground beef. Obviously that can definitely change, but that's just not the case right now. Like, that's not our reality. And I think everyone's feeling that pressure of the grocery price hike, just how frustrating it is. And I think there's been a lot of people having to be creative with the meals that they make and maybe even cut things out because it's just too expensive. And like, I feel you 110%. I'm down to the basics right now, chicken and ground beef. And I will be keeping the weekends blank only because I feel like for a lot of people, the weekends are the easy meals. You don't really like make a huge dinner. You just kind of do something simple. Just a little FYI for you guys if you are still interested in this meal plan. I mean, it still does offer meal ideas. So if you're kind of in a rut, don't know what to make, check out the meal plan. You might find something that piques your interest. So this morning I was reading out of Proverbs and I read a verse and it really just stuck with me. But as I was thinking about it, I was thinking like, this verse is perfect for those going back to school this year. And it also kind of made me think back to when I was in school and like what got me through public school as a Christian. And it always came down to finding refuge in the Lord. And like, that's really what it came down to, because there were so many times where my faith was tested. There were so many times where I wanted to just lower my standards just to fit in. But by the grace of God, I didn't, because I had to, in those moments, just like remember who I was. And that was, I'm a Christian and I'm different and I don't believe those things and I don't believe in doing those things. And I had to find my confidence in that. And this verse I feel like is perfect. And the verse is Proverbs 14:26. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. And some people may not understand the word fear in this context, but the meaning of fear in this context is a deep respect, reverence, and awe for God's power and authority. The fear of the Lord can lead to wisdom, understanding, and a full life. And so that's the meaning of fear in this verse. And so, in the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. So that is just my encouragement to those young Christians going back to school, or just Christians who are in a workplace where it's just a really filthy environment. And filthy not as in like dusty or dirty, but like profanity, the conversations people are having, the thoughts people are thinking, the lives people are living. That may be filthy, but just know that in the Lord is a place of refuge. And we know that God is everywhere and God is in you. And so just dwell in that place. And with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, friends.